Alright, time for another draftphysics.com. Debate physics also, but again, the debate is in no useful form. People will not draw anything, explain anything, show anything, link to anything called an experiment or evidence. It's just garbage as responses. And you're just saying why? Why are they doing this? I mean, the statement by physics that it would take 25 times the fuel to go 5 times as fast, or 100 times the fuel to go 10 times as fast, is implausible nonsense. I mean, who would defend it as being real? So you know there's something catastrophically wrong with their understanding of energy because you know it doesn't happen. It's just not fucking true. And the same argument with gravity. How can somebody miss the simple argument? It's about how much time you spend in gravity. So if I said this was an average of 9.8 meters per second traveling this line, the average gravity, and you travel it slowly, okay, you crash. You travel a little faster, you get your orbit bent. You go a little bit faster, and the faster you go, the less force is pushing you this way, the less of a vector in this direction you get, the less time you're in the gravitational field, the less, okay, gravity affects you. It's clearly a time-dependent force. Now, again, it's a more complicated argument to talk about something coming into the Earth at 20,000 miles an hour, let's say, and it only spends 1 second in an average amount of gravity of 9.8 meters per second. And I should say 22 miles an hour per second, right? Because they keep playing with this per second thing like it's some sort of per second. I mean, it's nonsense. I mean the nonsense they resort to. Anyway, you're going 20,000 miles an hour. You're not going to gain any velocity. Okay, you're going to gain 9.8 meters added to your 20,000 miles an hour, right? So it's 20,022 miles an hour. 20,022. Those are the facts. MGH doesn't work if something's moving with a velocity not acquired through the gravitational process. So it's not applicable, and it's not applicable for an obvious reason because it's not identifying the real cause of gravity, the motion, the momentum you gain. You gain the momentum because a force is affecting you over an amount of time, just like electricity or anything else. They're all time-dependent forces. It's how much time, how many, it's how much time. A watt is a certain amount of time that it's measured in. You people are just so freaking dishonest. Because you're not stupid enough to understand those arguments. You're just ignoring them. To defend something implausibly, I argue, it's silly. It's not even, it's just silly. Everyone knows it doesn't take 25 times the fuel to spin something 5 times as fast. Everybody knows when I turn the valve on the hose, I can't make free energy. It's the same momentum, okay? And I haven't made more energy by shooting, a narrow beam of water versus a wide beam of water. Again, the lever proves the point. I mean, thousands of years old, a reliable device to tell you what equals what. Okay, it's a balance. It's telling you overtly, okay, that a half mass at twice the speed is the same as a full mass at the full velocity. Clearly. I know. And yet you type this drivel. All right. Have a go and see if Bryden Keating. So I did already email him. He was on my list. So that's probably a year ago. Totally ignored. No feedback whatsoever. Blah, 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 blah. Would be more forthcoming to what you have to say and show. He's still a name dropper. He's not going to talk to anybody, but he wants to feel important. So it's only important people to get on his show. I believe he would be more open to seeing new ideas. I don't think any of these people have any interest in anything called an idea. No, that wasn't generated by them. You know. So whatever. I've read it. Now I'm going to delete it because, frankly, it's thank you for the advice, but it's almost as if frankly, if I ask these people to pay attention, they pay less attention. If one of you asks them to pay attention, they pay a little more attention. That's the way it sort of works. This stupid cats thing, conspiracy something or other, its channel is, flat earth debunker. I'm indirectly in contact with him because somebody emailed Al-Kahari and they sent a forum email suggesting that they had messaged this guy and he's looking for new subjects. Now, it doesn't look like he's looking for new subjects when he's going to lose the argument, though. He's looking for new victims. I mean, all these assholes want is some easy target. They want to pick on retards and lunatics and make fun of them and then feel proud of themselves. But they won't challenge anybody else. They won't accept a challenge from anybody else. Even when you offer to pay them, they won't. So let's understand, for 2 years I've been offering $2,000 for one of these named physicists to just play a 5-minute video. And they won't take my money. All right. So, man who chronically deletes posts. This isn't a forum. All right, we're not here to do anything but one thing, right? Defend my theory and tear down their nonsense. And the obligation is for you to either defend the conventional theory or in some way poke a hole in mine. And when you're doing something else, what's the point? It should get deleted. And all of these comments contain no substance. There's no content in them I can even argue with. As stated, I will create a web page with your best arguments. You can't even post them. Where are they? Where are your best arguments? And I'll make a web page of them. So show me your best arguments. And we can even have a vote in the comments section. You can vote on which ones are really good arguments. Because I haven't seen any. And you know it. Okay, anyway. So delete his post. Right, and I deleted after I responded to it, right? So I dismissed the comment as being irrelevant or nonsense or garbage, or some of them, obviously they're just insulting, so who cares? I didn't insult anybody in their forum. I didn't do anything criminal, okay? I didn't do anything scary. So if you wish to post a link to some sort of legitimate video that explains your physics and can overcome the arguments I've already made, and I'm going to go play it, I'll play the video and show you're an asshole. Will you take responsibility for that? No. Okay. Stay tuned for more news at 11. So just useless crap. So fuck you. Yeah. All right. So this is such bullshit. You seem to be tripped over v squared. I seem to be tripped over some asshole, you assholes accepting a physics that has no evidence. So Leibniz shows up 300 years ago and says, 4 pounds dropped 1 foot is the same energy as 1 pound dropped 4 feet. Yeah, I never did the experiment though. Yeah, I have no proof that that's true. And a lever says exactly the opposite. So a lever says they don't equal each other. Line through the equal sign. No way. Doesn't happen. All right. And that's all you have. You have a statement by somebody 350 years ago who was a religious kook. And that's all you have. That's your science. Well, it sucks. Okay. You mentioned in your other videos the simple explanation. There's no explanation here. He's not going to explain the ballistic pendulum losing 99.94% of the energy. Okay, is that the nth derivative of a position function. So again, that doesn't prove anything at all. Okay, your ability to pervert what Newton said is fine. You can pervert any. You're just proving that mathematics is just perversion. Okay, because Newton's statement was pretty clear. If you want to know a rate, the gravitational rate, then you divide by time. That's what a rate is. So the 9.8 meters doesn't mean anything without the 1 second. If the 1 second isn't included underneath it as a fraction, the rate doesn't mean anything. It's not a physical description of reality. It's 1 second. That's Newton's formula. That's what Newton used, except he was using feet, of course. So what's your argument? You're not making any argument here. You can't undo the fact that that's not what Newton thought. It's not what Galileo thought. So why are you pretending that's what they thought when it's not what they thought? You don't think Newton knows what free momentum looks like? And that he would say, hey, you know what? I can make free momentum. I mean, to him, momentum was energy, you fucking retard. Oh. And he clearly stated, yeah, there's no perpetual motion and there's no free energy. So fuck you. This is just such crap. This is taught in high school level physics. So that's a lie. It really isn't. So go ahead and lie. Or calculus classes. There's not too many calculus classes in high school, but whatever. Khan Academy has great content on all on this all absolutely free. Well, why don't you link to the video then? Link to it. Link to the great explanation about how gravity is not a time-dependent force. That it wasn't 9.8 meters per second of velocity added per 1 second. That wasn't the ratio. And it's not a net force. It's a per second force. I mean, fuck you. God damn it. These people are such assholes. All right, if you taught yourself some basic integrating and differentiating, so exactly, if I taught myself how to fuck up a mathematical equation, take something that's simple and logical, and then pretend that it's something else. So that's what they did when they weighed the electron. Do you think they got the weight of the electron right? Because that's exactly what they did. They said mv equals 1/2 mv squared. That's essentially what they did. They put those two things in an equation and said those two things are equal to each other. They are? How they can be? I don't know how they possibly can be, but that's what they did. So why would I do that? I'd have to be a cheater and a fool and an idiot to do that. All right. I think it would be illuminating for you. I think you should just fucking get what you deserve, okay, which is a slow, miserable death. Also, look up position velocity. I don't need to understand what a velocity is, okay? It's quite obvious. I can see cars going by. I can tell 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. Really easy to tell the difference, fuckface. All right, acceleration, jerk, snap, crackle, pop. Well, that's just too interesting. I might just block you for that last little trite nonsense, but we'll give you another chance. But what crap? That's the best you can do. So that's your great argument proving it takes 25 times the fuel to spin something 5 times as fast. That's your brilliant fucking argument. That, you know, fire hoses can make free energy. Or they can destroy energy somehow. Right? Right? I can open the hose all the way and there won't be any heat. There won't be no nothing. But I'll have lost 90% of the energy somehow. Oh, you people are just such pieces of shit. But you're just proving my point. Human beings are scum. All right, that's their nature apparently. I never grew up as a scumbag. I have always been on this planet trying to do my best, trying to be a fair cop, trying to be a decent thing. And apparently all you scheming, lying sacks of shit can't do any better. You just can't do any better than being lying, conniving, weaselly sacks of motherfucking shit. All right, so that brings up Piro. Perfect example. Okay, so he says Wolfram's cellular automata in his physics ideas are not particles of stuff. Yeah, they really are, frankly. Okay, they're just checkers moving spaces. Okay, there has to be a something to be in the cellular automaton for it to be on or to be off. So it would be silly to say there's nothing in his, there is a something occupying a space. So fuck you, liar. Okay. There are cells in space, what is the difference, right? So if I said my theory is that there's a bunch of little holes in space, and then there's these things called force bits that jump in the holes and move in straight lines from hole to hole, what would be the difference? Well, the only real difference would be it'd be impossible to have a vector in any angle because you can't, the cells wouldn't be the right distance. But anyway. So it doesn't make any difference. So this is just more bullshit, just absolute bullshit. His whole point was, in doing any of that stuff, was to demonstrate that tiny changes in behavior, just tiny little rules you make about what happens, can create a huge amount of accrued complexity over time. The longer you run the simulation, the more the pieces interact with each other and the more complex an output they can produce. You fucking cunt. And you do know that. But you type this drivel anyway because you're such a petty little fucker. Okay. When mass is moving through space, he thinks it's actually propagating through cells. And again, what could the possible difference be? Well, I answer the point in my own comment. As if the particle is generated in the next cell every step it takes, which is absolutely, you could do it to any theory. Any mechanical device can be pixelated, okay? And you can just think about it moving pixels. All right. So that's how I said, basically. This is an irrelevant distinction. His simulations are mathematical models. Everything can be reduced to pixels and intervals of time defining movement. So everything can be reduced to that. There's no model somebody could provide that couldn't be reduced to just starting and stopping. And that's it, no problem. Just saying, here we stop, and in the next frame, it's here. And this is over here, and this is over here by a set number of rules. All right. Instead of talking this useless mush, why not demonstrate that it takes 25 times the energy to spin something 5 times as fast? Can't you find a single link to a single document describing an experiment proving it? How about showing me a proof that gravity is not a time-dependent force? That it's not 9.8 meters of velocity. So I said clearly 9.8 meters of velocity. Right? So that's all you need to know, right? It goes 9.8 meters of velocity. And, of course, for 1 second of exposure. That's what you get in 1 second, is 9.8 meters of velocity. You don't get 9.8 meters of distance. You get 9.8 meters of added velocity. In terms of, in the 1 second, that's what you're going to get. So there's nothing wrong with the way I said it. Okay, especially in free fall. And then he says 9.8 meters is a distance, not a velocity. It doesn't matter. Velocity is calculated by distance over time. So there's nothing complicated about this. All right, and the fact is that there's nothing magical about twice the velocity, just as there's nothing magical about twice the weight. It's just twice the weight. Twice the weight is not 4 times the weight. It's not 4 times the energy. You people are pathetically stupid. Well, like I said, it's not that you're stupid. You're belligerently evil. You're defending absolute crap. You know it's crap. And you're still defending it. Piro knows it doesn't take 25 times anything to spin something 5 times as fast. So he knows the theory can't be right. There's got to be something wrong with it. Because that doesn't happen. He knows it doesn't take 100 times the gasoline, okay, to drive from 10 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. It does not take 100 times the gasoline. He knows that. And this lying sack of dirty, smelly, rotten shit is sitting here defending that nonsense. Fuck you, cunt. All right, so Superior Mind wrote a comment about how they're all zealots, and at least with the religious type, have some buried hesitation because they're actually aware that the evidence isn't that good. Yeah, that the religious people are at least humbled by the fact that they wish they had some kind of footprint of God somewhere they could point to. But these arrogant assholes. Phew. Okay. So this fucking Gibbon shit says they're actually aware that the evidence isn't that good. So he was talking about religious people. Okay. Do you think that Newton was not able to measure pendulum swings well? Well, Newton actually said, it's not that easy, and he's hoping that he got things right, he's pretty sure, okay? So we don't have any example of an actual experiment where Newton said, oh yeah, I sent a pendulum in with 100 momentums and collided it with a heavy object, a three mass object, and it left with 150 momentum. So we don't have any evidence that that's what happened. All you have is a little convoluted thing where Newton says, and well, what if I, change the scenario, if you don't mind, kind of a statement. So it's clearly iffy, and clearly right under the second law, the first sentence says, twice the force, twice the velocity, 3 times the force, 3 times the velocity. So, all this lying about what Newton thought, it's just disgusting. Why did Descartes write about the controversy between Newton and Leibniz? Why was it a controversy? Why did Voltaire talk about it? Why did anybody think there was a controversy if Newton believed in mv squared? This is so ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, well enough to see how momentum is conserved in collisions. Exactly. Conserved meaning you can't make more momentum. So if there's more momentum going the same way you started with, that's free momentum. That's free energy. Okay, and how about all the others who did the same pendulum collision experiment? That's exactly what we're looking for. So let's understand, when all the others, he means these dirty, filthy slobs who do these crap experiments with cookies and crackers and shit, bubble gum, some sort of crap on a stick, It's just a crappy experiment. It couldn't be crappier. And let's understand, physicist Michael bought, heavy steel balls, built a Newton's cradle, he built it. He complained that, it wasn't nailed down tight enough, and so it's too wobbly. But he never produced any results. So we have zero evidence from him. So he bought the materials, went to the trouble to build the thing, and he showed zero video of the proof that he could make free momentum. But you'll ignore that, right, Gibbon? Because you're a fucking dumb monkey. All right. Let's remember that for a long time and with a straight face, draft science claimed that he was defending Newton's physics. Newtonian physics. I still claim it, okay? So again, why don't you just show me the drawing that Newton did or something else demonstrating that he believed in mv squared? There should be somewhere where he's talking about, wow, this is really great. All this extra energy you can create. It's amazing. Why would he have a third law that says equal and opposite reactions? Okay, because Newton knew something about launching devices. A catapult existed, lots of things existed. So why the fuck would he say that when you don't think it's true? When the catapult can go backwards with a tiny amount, 15 joules of energy, and the rock can go flying off with 400 or 500 or 10,000 joules of energy. Why would he talk about equal and opposite reactions if he believed in mv squared? Because every single time you launch something light from a heavy thing, there's no way you're conserving both. You can't conserve the momentum and conserve the mv squared. Impossible to do. So one thing has to have more energy. You people are just pathetic liars. Oh, it's disgusting. Have to live on a planet full of shit. Absolute shitheads. Oh, it's like talking to a Trump. You're too fucking stupid. Too dishonest. Your mind is so lost in your conniving hate and petty problem. Oh, that person has better feet than me. That person has a cooler shirt than me. You're so busy winding those gears that you can't do any straight thinking. All right, when people pressed him to actually read Newton, he said that he can't trust the translation. I said it's really not great, frankly, that there are more than one translation. So you want to pretend there isn't, that the wording isn't different in the different translations? Well, then you're a fucking liar again. All right. But again, the colory, okay, the whatever the fuck that even means, where he talks about this crap, everything's fine until he just gets to that one section where he starts talking about 18 instead of 16. And, you know, if you want to say that's proof he believed in mv squared, I'm saying you're a lying sack of shit. All right, when people keep pressing him, he said Newton's measurements were bad. Now, that I didn't say. So go ahead and find me the quote where I said that. All I said was it's a challenge when you he didn't have a stopwatch. It's pretty damn hard to time a pendulum, okay? It's, you know, it's not that easy to do. So what's your argument? That it is easy? No. I mean, he said 12-foot pendulum is still a pretty big pendulum. But frankly, it's all happening pretty fucking fast, shithead. Without any explanation, a liar. You're just, I'm going to block you now, but you're just lying now. All right, he went from Newton was the greatest science ever. I'm just making the point that everyone should be able to agree that what Newton did in his life is amazing. I mean, the whole color of light thing, I mean, you could just go on and on. I mean, it's amazing, you know, what that one man got his fingers into. Okay. Just, you know, years, and it was so devoted. I mean, he spent his whole life doing this. This is what he did his whole fucking life. All right. Newton didn't know what he was doing. Oh, that's just a lie. Okay. Because he realized they both can't be right, so obviously Newton must be wrong. So again, this is just such a lie because we know that, you know, the people defending Newton against Leibniz, okay, we're clearly making an argument against mv squared. So it's just a lie to say Newton believed it. All right, just like everyone else. So you're just such a liar. Let's also remember that draft science has admitted that his theory allows free energy. So that's a lie. He said, my theory fails here, but so does yours. And what did I say that about? What's the context of that? Did you have a context for that statement? No. So it's just a lie. Okay. He knows his ideas are broken, but he kept defending it because he has a pathological obsession. And you have one with licking your own anus. But a superior mind is the only way he can justify his own life. I don't even know what being a superior mind is the only way he can justify his own life. It's just hilarious. Never has any of my work fighting stupidity in the world, which I have been doing for 40 years, have anything to do with me thinking I'm superior. So that's where you're wrong. I'm superior for a lot of other reasons, because I'm a really nice person, and you know, I have skills, and you know, lots of reasons to say I'm superior. But this isn't it. Oh, you're just such a scumbag. All right, I'll delete this one, but I really want to block you. Okay, now that Gibbons has a reply, do you have anything to say? So isn't that an amazingly silly statement? He's replied with nothing. There's zero evidence in his reply. There's zero showing us how Newton believed in mv squared, that Newton wrote the equation mv squared. There's nothing. Where is that egg on your face? You keep talking about idiot, so we'll just fuck this guy off. Useless gibberish. Okay, example from today. Science says this is how humans look in 1,000 years. So that was Superior Mind's comment, just pointing out this is the crap physics, the crap science that you get on the internet. It's not our fault. Who's our? You can't distinguish between AI generated stop and actual science fond to textbooks, papers, etc. So all the papers are about something real, right? So all the crap about antimatter and neutrinos and all this other horse shit, black matter, dark matter, pink matter. Oh, you're just such a piece of garbage. All right. And we'll get rid of Gibbon here, delete it anyway. So yeah, you're running out of time to make a point, all right, that is worthy of me posting on a web page saying, look at this great argument he made. Look at how great this argument is, proving there's free momentum. You know, proving that it takes 25 times the fuel to go 5 times as fast. Proving that balances don't work. That's what these guys are saying. They're saying it right to you and me. They're saying a balance is lying. The fact that it says one mass going 4 velocity is the same as a one mass going 4 velocity is the same as a 4 mass going 1 velocity. That's what the lever says. It has to go 4 times as fast to be the same, not twice as fast. And they're saying levers are lying. So even though it'll oscillate 100 times, it somehow has twice as much energy on one side than the other side. Somehow it's producing twice as much motion, energy, motion, joules. I just amazing. These people are such pieces of garbage. Alright, so maybe we'll leave it there. I guess I could go look and see if there's some other fucktarded thing. So maybe I'll do that, but there's nothing. I'm not that interested. Real arguments are going to show up, and nobody can make one. They can't provide a link to a real argument. Nothing. Just nothing. Zero. Useful content produced by these lying sacks of shit. Alright, so this is the idiot, jackass, whatever. So this reminds me of it's conspiracy cat, right? It's a cat, so this is somehow related to that conspiracy cat guy who ended up making a bunch of channels that he sold to people or some kind of crap. I don't even know what happened to him. But anyway, I'm... The simple point is the Al-Kahari people referenced this guy. They said they texted him, messaged him, all right, and somehow he was interested in some new thing to debunk or something. So that was the implication. So maybe they lied, all right, because the guy didn't seem at all interested. So I sent an email pointing out that, let's argue your crappy moronic physics, You're idiots, and I can prove it logically. I can provide a good logical proof that they're all liars and idiots, right? I could just show video clip after video clip where they lie about the Eddington experiment. I saw one today, that Brian Greene asshole was talking to some people, and they just made up a completely fake story about, how this was a great experiment and all this, and Einstein already knew the answer about mercury and all this, and that's a lie. He was requested, it was at Eddington's request that Einstein explain the parallelimum thingy of mercury. They're just remaking history, and it's just disgusting. Einstein, if they had done the eclipse experiment in 1917 when they intended to do it, but the war got in the way. If they had done it then, Einstein's theory said light was only bent the same amount as other matter. So he would have been proven wrong. Just amazing bullshit. All right, that's all it is bullshit. Anyway. He's got this annoying video on the homepage. It's way too loud. It's disgusting. So look, all this hype, all to debunk the craziest of fanatics. Go find people that are mentally ill and make fun of them. This is their big fun thing to do in life, is to make fun of crazy people. That's how they entertain themselves. Okay. So just so bad. So we'll see, if he mans up, because yeah, I will humiliate him. Okay, it's just the truth. He's not going to know any of the history. He's not going to know any of the facts. He's just going to say, "I'm a believer. I'm a believer. 1/2 mb squared is God. I know it in my heart." These people are just such scum. Anyway, so coming soon. I will let you in on what the conversation was and how he's just pussied out. This is pussy. He's a little sissy coward, all right, who can't defend his own flat earth theory, his own wacky, silly, nonsensical nonsense. Go ahead, defend antimatter. I mean, just idiotic. All right. God damn it. Oh, people are such dupes. And then you'll make fun of dupier people. I mean, it's just retards arguing with retards on this planet. There's just nobody with a brain, apparently. I mean, it's really not that difficult, right? I mean, as soon as somebody tells you, well, their theory says it does take 25 times the fuel to spin something 5 times as fast. Yeah, it's 25 times the fuel. Yes. That's what we believe. You should be walking out of the room. Well, then you don't believe anything reasonable. Oh, fuck. Okay. So anyway. Till the next time and such, I still got to do the Stern Gerlach thing. I have all the information I basically need to, point out all the experiments we haven't seen that they should do. But anyway, so till the next time and such and so forth and whatnot. I hate it on this planet of lying scum. Again, it's not just that you're imbeciles. You're lying scum. I mean, not to admit, yeah, that sounds kind of stupid. 25 times the fuel to go 5. Yeah, it sounds kind of stupid. Not to admit it. Just makes you scum.